Good evening and welcome to Adult Conversations on Yo Women Radio, WFM 91.7. Today is the 14th of July, 2022, and I thank you very much for joining me today. I hope your day has been lovely. I hope your day has been productive. I hope your day has gone very well. I welcome you to Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. Here on Adult Conversations, you give all the advice by contributing on the subject matter without judging. Adult Conversations on Women Radio 91.7 currently runs from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Women Radio 91.7 because we are here to break the culture of silence. So if you have a story that you want us to bring to the family of Adult Conversations, please go ahead and send in your story. 0703 175 6537 is the number to send it to. 0703 175 6537. Remember to send in your story with your name and contact telephone number. 070 317 56537, along with your name and contact telephone number. Tonight on Adult Conversations. My name is Tinu. I'm 41, a medical doctor, and my husband is also a successful businessman. We have been married for 12 years with 2 biological children and 1 adopted daughter. I recently stumbled on some emails he sent to a woman I knew as his close friend from childhood and a close family friend. From the emails, I deduced that he had been in a relationship with her for 7 years and our adopted daughter is her biological child. I am heartbroken that we've been living a lie and I have been raising my husband's mistress's daughter. He has been begging me, but I don't think I can stay in a marriage without trust. I need advice, please. This is a very heartbreaking story of Tinu today. Tinu is 41. She's a medical doctor. Her husband is also 41. He's a successful businessman. And they've been married for 12 years with 3 children, 2 biological and 1 adopted daughter. Tinu is saying that she recently stumbled upon some emails that he sent to a woman that she knows as a close friend of the family. His close friend that he has known from childhood and a close friend of the family. Now, from the emails, she deduced that he had actually been in a relationship with this woman for 7 years and their adopted daughter was her biological child. Tinu says she's heartbroken that they've been living a lie and she has been raising her husband's mistress's daughter. She says he's been begging her, but she doesn't think she can stay in a marriage without trust. What are your thoughts? The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Anywhere you are in the world, you can listen via the website, Drive, Facebook, and YouTube, and watch live. At WFM 917 is still the handle. At WFM 917 is still the handle. Now, when you call, please turn down the volume of your radio so that we can avoid any interference and we can actually hear you correctly. If you want to join the Adult Conversations group chat, kindly send in your name and contact number via WhatsApp. Send in your name and contact number on WhatsApp to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537, and you'll be added on to the group. So what are your thoughts concerning the story tonight? Tina is saying that she's in a terrible position right now and she feels very bad. Her husband told her that, or let me put it this way, I'm reading just as the story sent it. They've been married for 12 years with 2 biological children and 1 adopted daughter. Tina says she recently stumbled on some mails he sent to a woman that she knew as his close friend from childhood. That's how he introduced her to this woman in question. And of course, the woman became a family friend, and they know each other as a close family friend as well. But apparently from the emails, Tina deduced that they had been in a relationship for 7 years, and their adopted daughter is actually this lady's biological child. So she's saying she's disgusted and heartbroken that they've been living a lie, and she has been raising her husband's mistress's daughter. Her husband has been begging, but she doesn't know what to do, and that's where she needs you. What are your thoughts? What do you think she should do at this point, having found out this very massive secret? Having found out this very massive secret that can totally mar a marriage. This is not even a make or mar situation. This is mostly a mar situation. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for calling.
This is Fatima from Alba.
Your name again? Your name again, please. Kindly call back if you can. What are your thoughts on this story? I don't even know where to begin. I can't even start to explain myself, because the truth of the matter is a lot of things are going through Tinu's mind right now. Too many things. And she's wondering, how could I be so silly to believe this charade all the while? How can I be so blindly affected by love and the security of my husband? In fact, I totally missed this. This person has come to my house. This person must have sat in my house. This person must have hung out with us as a family. I must have left this person with my children at a certain point in time. This is somebody I viewed as a close family friend. How do I even begin to untangle all of that with this new information? Hello, good evening. Hello. All right, please go ahead and call me back if you can. This is still Adult Conversations on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7.
Put on your church shoes, little sister, because we're about to blast off!
What is it you're trying to say? It's time to buckle up, because we're in the driver's seat.
Women Radio 91.7. Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
My name is Shegun, and I'm the village man. All of you now we like to blame us village people because our business really do well. Say we not think say we won't get our own issue. I beg you, we village people don't get your time off. Check yourself first.
Village people are the reason your business isn't growing. Introducing MoneyPoint, a business bank that helps you realize your business dreams with easy access to quick loans, ease of payment collections, and general business management tools. Visit www.moneypoint.com and let's help you power your business dreams. Money powering dreams.
Join us 10 a.m. every Saturday on Gen Z's Know Better on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Gen Z's Know Better, where youths discuss issues across all areas of life. Some call us the phone generation, some call us the Sarasota generation, and yes, we are unapologetically Gen Z's. Though easily misunderstood, we have strong opinions on issues in the society, a force to reckon with. Gen Zs. Join us 10 a.m. every Saturday on Gen Z's Know Better on Women Radio WFM 91.7.
The big question. Corruption is, in fact, is increasing more. We never had a snake and swallow money.
Why?
Everything has increased.
Conversation, controversial and borderline disruptive. The big question.
Mondays to Fridays, 12:05 p.m.
On your Women Radio WFM 91.7.
Radio Doctor, your free health consultation program. Every Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. brings you health and wellness.
If you're stressed out either at home, at work, or you're having a stressful relationship between either your girlfriend, your fiance, or your wife, you can have erectile dysfunction.
Call in to get free consultation and health and wellness on 07000-917-917 and 090-256-25455. You can send in questions, cases, and related contributions on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM917. Text and WhatsApp on 070-317-56537. You can listen live online at www.wfm917.com. Radio Doctor, Nigeria's first free consultation radio program on WFM 91.7, the voice of women. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. All right. Please call me back if you can. It's 19 minutes past the hour of 6 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. And this is Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. You're tuned into Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Today on Adult Conversations, we have Tinu's story. Tinu's story goes thus. I'm 41, my husband is 41, I'm a medical doctor, he's a successful businessman. We've been married for 12 years with 2 biological children and 1 adopted daughter. I recently stumbled on some emails he sent to a woman that I knew as his close friend from childhood and also a close family friend. From the emails, I deduced that he had been in a relationship with her for 7 years and that our adopted daughter is her biological child. I'm heartbroken that we've been living a lie and I have been raising my husband's mistress's daughter. He has been begging me, but I don't think I can stay in a marriage without trust. Please advise me. Tine is in a very impossible position at the moment and she needs all the advice that she can get. Please go ahead and call the number 07000-917-917. 07000-917-917. You can also send your text and WhatsApp messages to 0703-175-6537. Tinu needs your advice tonight. She needs your advice tonight and she wants to know what to do because she really is in a very difficult position at the moment. She needs your advice on what to do concerning her husband. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name, please?
My name is Tony, calling from Lagos.
Tony from Lagos, from Ikeja.
Hello.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Please go ahead.
What I say first is, in any kind of relationship, in whichever kind of relationship, when there is no trust, I don't think there is any need to continue. And when it now comes to a relationship of when you have the husband and wife that you lived for how many years and all of a sudden you get to realize it's different too. I think this is a difficult one for her. And I think it's something she needs to see that I think through very well. She wants to go with. Because at some point you feel like, oh, you've forgiven him and okay, everything is all gone and you feel. But at some point you just remember that everything is coming back and it aches. And any small thing you start feeling like, oh, maybe I don't know what he's saying again. So that's why trust is very key. So when the trust is not there anymore, I think you need to properly reevaluate that. Yeah, I want to reach my peace for this. If there's no trust, there's no peace. That's just so for me, I think I will speak to her that you should trust me that she can't find a way to trust him anymore after. She should just speak up her mind and everybody should be on the same page. That's my opinion.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tony.
And I think another thing that's putting pressure in people, like in a whole lot of this kind of situation, there are some societal norms that we all agree and accepted. Oh, it must be like this, it must be like that.
Okay. How do you mean? How do you mean?
As for a relationship.
Okay.
Because first and foremost, it's like, oh, this person you married for 12 years, what else is needed? If you cannot forgive, what else does she want?
Okay.
But I think that the fact that they're married for 12 years doesn't mean they have to stay forever. If things go south, well, let it be. But society may look at it like, oh, there's no point. That's not the right thing to do. That's one thing. Another thing is there are men that actually, to be honest with you, there are men that no matter what you do, you just cannot keep to one more. They try to hide what they're doing in a different hide it from their partner. Whereas they needed more than one. So but because the society does not allow them take all their religion or one thing or the other, instead to go the other way then do something different. Then at the end of the day, it breaks one path. So I think it's time everybody wakes up to realize, okay, what exactly you are and come out to be just exactly what you are, instead of just going about hurting others. That's just my own goal.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Okay, so Tony tonight is talking about the fact that when trust is broken, once trust is broken, it's really hard for it to be repaired. It's really hard for it to be repaired and for things to go back to normal. So he's saying that if she feels that she can't find it in herself to forgive him and rebuild that trust, then it will be better for her to walk away from this marriage. He's also saying that if you are the kind of person who is interested in being with multiple women, and he's saying society has normalized monogamy, and rather than accepting it for what it is on some level. So he's saying basically that if you're the kind of person that can't stick to one woman, do polygamy and forget about it. As long as the people you're doing it with are okay with it, then we're good on all ends. But don't act like you're monogamous with someone only for you to break their heart and hurt them in the end. So that's what Tony from Ikeja is saying. Thank you, Tony. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. May I know your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Adewale from Abule Ijepo.
Thank you, Adewale. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I've been with you on the program and I enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
I want to congratulate you for the job well done.
Thank you.
Yes, my own pick. Let the woman just take hand and continue with the marriage. At least more than know the man for quite a long time before they get wedded. Now, if you say you want to divorce this and you still go ahead with another person, so what does he know that the other person will say to? Yes, trust. Let him just take courage and rebuild the trust in as much as the husband is ready to repent totally. That's what I'm thinking.
All right. Thank you very much, Adewale. Thank you for calling. He says, in as much as the husband is willing to repent totally, then you can as well take him back and build the rest of your marriage. So for that, I want to point out certain things. So it's not just that he cheated. He didn't just cheat on her. He cheated on her, but he cheated on her with one woman for 7 years. He's been with one other woman for 7 years out of their 12-year marriage. And like it or not, 7 years is more than 12 years. So they've been married for 12 years, but he's been with this woman for 7 out of those 12 years. So much so that the woman got pregnant for him, had a baby for him, and he brought that baby into his marital home as an adopted child. What that would have meant is they would have faked documents on some point. Now, I'm not saying that this is what happened, but for it to be called an adoption, there has to be documents to back it up. Who came up with these documents? What's the name of the adoption agency? How did they come up with this? Is the adoption agency certified? How many background checks do they have to do? How did this baby even come to be in the first place? Who's the mother of the baby according to the papers? How did all of these come to the point where they signed the papers and collected this baby? Only to now find out that the baby is actually the biological child of this side chick for 7 years. So it's not... There are multiple trusts that have been broken in this marriage. There are multiple trusts that have been broken in this marriage. This woman is probably thinking, if you loved this other woman so much, why are you with me then? You could have been with me. You could be with me, broken up things with me, and then marry this one that you've been with for 7 years. Now, I don't know if this woman 7 years is the later 7 years, like when they had been married for 5 years, and then he met this one and then spent the remaining 7 years with her. I don't know. But the point remains that he's been in this relationship for 7 years out of their 12-year marriage. So every day for 7 years, this woman's heart has been broken and she doesn't even know. So this breaking of trust is not on one count. It's not just, oh, he cheated and that's it. So I needed to break that a bit down so that we can understand the true picture of things. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening. This is Ifeanyi calling from Ketu, Lagos.
Ifeanyi, thank you for calling. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've been doing your session. This is my first time tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please go ahead.
Yeah, on this show, I think it's right, 100%. Yeah, the ball is in her court. If she can't bear the situation, let her move on. Yeah, the problem on ground is enough to cause divorce in a marriage. Yeah. So if she can't take it, if she knows that she can't trust the man again, she has to go.
All right. Thank you so much, Ifeanyi. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
All right. Ifeanyi is saying if she doesn't think she can find this within herself to forgive her husband, it's a big deal. Saying this case, everything that has been laid down now is reason enough for a divorce, according to Ifeanyi. He says she has serious grounds for a divorce. And he's saying that if she truly can find this within herself to forgive this man, to forgive her husband, then she might as well just end the relationship, end the marriage, and move on. Because truth be told, it will be hard to rebuild this one. It's not impossible, believe me, there's nothing impossible in marriage. Or there's almost nothing impossible in marriage. But it's not impossible, but it would take a lot of building blocks to build back this trust that has been broken. Let's not forget that they have taken, let me put it that way, they have actually taken this woman's biological child as their own adopted daughter. So this woman's child calls Tinu mommy every day. Every day. It would have been better off if she didn't find this out. But now she did. So every time she looks in the eyes of that girl, she's remembering her husband's infidelity. Time and time again. That's not going to be easy to just forget. That's not going to be easy to just wipe off like it never happened, because it did happen. And she's a constant reminder of that. So, real talk, guys. What is your advice for Tinu? This is still Adult Conversations on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7.
My better people better don't land. I Life Medicare HMO na one of that ogbonge health maintenance organization wey our government stamp gidigba for health insurance matter. My country people, why you go sick before you cover yourself? What if money no dey when you fall sick? Life Medicare HMO get better health plan and benefit for organized private sector, schools, communities, and even private individuals and families. Life's premium for all their plans dey pocket friendly. Na shikini money. Life's hospital network na all over Naija. They fit help you arrange treatment for obodo oyibo. Their head office na number 2 Osho Street, Okpebi Link Bridge off Okpebi Road, Ikeja, Lagos. For more information, call 080-93-555-863 or 080-3263-9058. I say health protection in your colors.
Imagine a world where no one talks about their struggles. A world where we all live first lives. Unhappy, depressed, and stressed. Sounds horrible, right? Now imagine a world where you can share your struggles, talk about your pains, and receive clarity and courage to face your fears and challenges head on. Sounds incredible, right? That right time is here. The time to flourish. 3 p.m. every Sunday on Women Radio WFM 91.7, where I will help you to flourish, connect with your full self, and help you break away from everything holding you back. I am Abimbola Akintoye today. Call me Coach Bims. I will be here for you every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Ladies, it's time to flourish.
I feel that there's some sort of lack of professionalism in this because we're talking about 100 lives. Government has also put in place a structure to make it look like what they have in mind. How do we stop crime in the society? Because at the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for other means. Because we should arrest Nigerian problems. Yes, Panorama.
Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 5 a.m.
WFM 91.7 will bring you ladies from across Nigeria's political zones, dissecting, discussing, and disagreeing on topical issues of the day. You too can join the conversation by tweeting us at WFM917 with the hashtag Panorama. WFM 91.7, Voice of Women.
Women are simply amazing. Great naturals who spend most of their time, energy, and thought juggling life and family. Women are refreshing worlds of courage and warmth. Up to you, woman. Now is the time to find and identify your true self. Become the best you. Live your true purpose. Up You with Izine helps you begin the journey, empowers you with hope and inspiration. Tune into Up You with Canem every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Up Youth is in me will help you stand up, speak up, shake up, soak up, skill up, and serve up. It's 4 p.m. every Saturday on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Up Youth is in me, finding self, finding purpose.
24 minutes to 7 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is still Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Tonight, we're profiling the story of Tinu and her husband. Tinu sent the story in, so this is mostly focused on Tinu. Tinu is telling us she's 41, a medical doctor. Her husband is the same age. He's a businessman, and they've been married for 12 years with 3 children, 2 biological children and 1 adopted daughter. Now, Tinu says she stumbled upon some emails And after reading them, she realized her husband has actually been in a relationship with a woman who she knows as their close friend, close family friend, and a friend of her husband since childhood. Actually, he has been in a relationship with this woman for 7 years, and their adopted daughter is actually this woman's biological daughter. Tinu says she's heartbroken because she realizes they've been living a lie and she can't take it anymore. She can't take it. She doesn't know what to do. The trust has been broken. Her husband has been begging her, but she says, I don't think I can live in a marriage without trust. She needs advice and she needs it now. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. What would you advise Tinu to do at this point? This is a woman who has thought for the longest time that she's been blissfully in a marriage for 12 years and she has 3 children with a loving husband and everything has been good. Almost all boxes checked. Tinu has been living almost literally in a bubble, only for this to ruin that. And Tinu is saying, I can't believe we've been living a lie. What are your thoughts for Tinu today? What is your advice for her? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. My name is Bright.
Hello, Bright. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ibafu.
Okay, thank you for calling. Please go ahead, Bright.
My suggestion is that they should move on and forget all about it. She should forgive the man.
They should move on and forget all about it.
Yes, sir. Ma.
All right. Thank you very much, Bright. I mean, I'm tempted to ask, how old are you? Are you an adult? And because this is adult conversations, you have to have a certain level of maturity. You have to have a certain level of exposure and understanding of, things that happen in the world to be able to contribute to programs like this. But I appreciate you calling. Thank you very much, Bright. She says, forget about it and move on. Forgive the man and move on. Believe me, definitely not as easy as it sounds. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for calling. What's your name, please?
It's Tonya. I'm calling from Congo.
Your name again?
Tonya, calling from Congo.
Hello, Tonya. Thank you very much for calling this evening.
This issue is very somehow complicated. It's not that easy for her to do. So my answer is that I want to just move out for now, as in just give her some time. And the husband just for some time. Because the husband might go back to the woman. If the husband wait on the.
Hello, Tonya. All right. Tonya, please, if you can, go ahead and call back. Go ahead and call back so I can really get the full picture of what it is that you're trying to communicate. Please try to call back if you can. This is not just something that you say, forget about it and move on. And it's not something that you say, oh, forgive him and move on. Forgiveness is not as easy as it sounds, believe me, particularly not in this kind of scenario. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lagos Expressway.
Your name, please?
Leo.
Leo from Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Hello, Leo.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Okay. You are watching my lord. So, forgive is a divine. So, the woman should find a place in her heart. First of all, she has to tell the husband what she thought, confront him in a godly manner. You know that it's not a matter of time because fighting cannot solve the issue at all.
The husband knows about it. The husband knows. The husband knows that she knows. He has been.
This was bad for us, and forgiveness is what makes. There's one thing about it. Even if somebody die in unforgiveness, I'm telling you, whether you are guilty or you're not guilty, the person may face another punishment according to the word of God. Because you have to forgive and forget. It's not easy.
All right. Let me ask you a question, Leo.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think number one, very simple question? Do you think this is easy to forgive?
No, it's not.
All right.
No,
I'm glad you answered that. I'm glad you answered that.
You have to ask God for the grace. It's so great that you.
I'm glad you answered that. I'm glad you answered that.
You have to ask God for the grace. It's so great that you.
I'm glad you answered that. Thank you very much.
Even the man has done that combination. So we need to condemn with evil, no matter how we pretend it is. It no matter their nation.
So another question.
Yeah.
If this was you, if you were the one that your wife if you were the one that this happened to, just let's put yourself in Tinu's shoes. Will you be saying, as a man, the minute you found out that your wife has been sleeping with somebody else for the better part of your marriage, and you just found out, and this person is somebody that is your friend because this person is a family friend. So how would I take it? Would it be easy for you to forgive, or would you forgive as well? I just want to know that. Yes. Go ahead.
For my conscience, maybe I myself have been dodging in all this illicit affair.
No, you've not been indulging. You have not been indulging. It's just your wife that did that. Will you forgive her and stay in that marriage?
Because the way I will just by special grace to not forgive her for Christ's sake. Because I say that we should forgive. Forgive myself.
So you forgive, right? Alright. So final question, Leo. Final question. You remember when I said that the adopted daughter is actually that woman's biological child?
She have a living pretest.
Yes, exactly. And then this woman, this Tinu in question, Tinu that's the wife, has been taking care of this child as her own child since the beginning of this child's life. So basically, she's looking at this child now that she has found this out. And she's looking at the child and she's wondering, so you are my husband's side chick's child. How do you think that is easy to deal with? How do you propose? So how do you propose that she should work with that? What she should do?
Okay, it's not easy for her to welcome the boy, but let her know that a child is a general something. It belongs to everybody, not because I'm the one that will give birth to the child. But let her remember that this child comes to propose in this life. Because nobody knows tomorrow. I must have this one tomorrow. I don't know what this child will do tomorrow. I don't know what that girl this way have done like this. I don't know. But let her open her heart and welcome the baby. The baby did not. The baby that came to this world did not do anything to the parents, but it was the way that he invited the baby by special grace of God. So the baby did not do anything. Let her welcome it because God will never forsake her in life.
Okay.
Because of this.
Thank you very much, Leo. Thank you for calling.
I believe that it will be well.
Thank you. All right. So Leo is saying the child belongs to everyone, basically. So she shouldn't focus on the fact that the child was actually from her husband's mistress. And she should also try to forgive him. Forgive him because God forgives and because unforgiveness is a sin, according to Leo, which is true. But the realities of this particular situation does not necessarily say that she will not forgive him. She can forgive him and decide not to stay in that marriage. She can forgive him and decide to take her 2 children away and build a different life with them because she can't stay in that marriage anymore. He can still be totally forgiven and she can decide just to take a different path in life. Life doesn't end because a separation happens or a divorce happens. Again, not saying that this is the course she's choosing, but I'm saying that you can actually still forgive someone and decide to go completely away from them. It's a thing. It happens. All right, call me back. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name, please? Where are you calling from? Please go ahead.
In fact, the situation at hand is a very delicate situation. It's not easy to forgive like that. Because Well, whenever she sees the baby, she will be remembering it. I don't think there is no shadow out of it. Maybe it's just the shifting alone. It can be easy to forgive because we human beings, we are human beings, and we do wrong all the time. So it's not easy for her to forget. It's not easy for her to forgive. In fact, if it were me, I can no longer stay in that marriage. Maybe I will give him some chance in order to, in fact, memory to disappear. In fact, it's not easy for her to forgive. I don't think there is no child.
Mm-hmm.
It will be easy, but since the child is living with them, it took God grace for her to forget.
So what's your suggestion?
My advice to her is that if she cannot cope with it, she should just maybe relocate where she can stay and maybe in another area, another environment, so that she can live a new life. That's my advice.
So she should just relocate. If she relocates, does that mean she's still married, or does that mean she's no longer married? Hello, Amaka, are you there?
Ma, I'm here.
So I'm asking that if she relocates, does that mean she's relocating as somebody who is still married to this man, or somebody who is not married to this man? And is she taking her children along? What's the angle of relocation?
Is it children or is it only one child?
She has 2 children from her. The last born, the last child is the adopted one, and that's the one that is the biological child of the mistress. She has 2 children for her husband. So when you say relocates, is she leaving the children behind? What's gonna happen?
It's not easy. I thought maybe it's only
All right. You'll agree with me that was a very important question, because all that needs to be factored into whatever Tinu's plan is. This, as heartbreaking as this situation is, as massive, as enormous as this situation is, strategy is important. It's important for her to know what it is that she wants to do and how she wants to do it, because the lives of her children are also involved here. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. This is Blessing calling from Liverpool.
Hello, Blessing. Thank you for calling. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. What I want to say is it that this man adopted his daughter before the wife started giving birth, or this woman has children for this man before the man adopted the child?
The woman had children for the guy before he adopted this one. So this youngest daughter, that's the biological daughter of the mistress, is actually their last child. That's their last child. That's the adopted one is their last child.
Okay. So what I want to tell her to do is, if she can't cope, I won't advise her to leave her husband. Because if she leaves the man, and the man bring the the side chick at home, she's going to leave. So what I advise her to do is, she should just take her time, watch what is going on and what's happening. So maybe as long now they know who the mother of the child is now. The husband is free to take care of the child, send the child money. Anytime he wants to see a child, his child rather, he can ask the woman, okay, I want to see my daughter or something. So she is free to see the child. But I will advise them to be living together with the child. So she don't have to leave her husband. She has to stay with her husband. Because if she leaves the man's house, there is no doubt the man is going to bring the child inside. And she did want to lose. I'm sorry to say. She did want to lose because she has to kids already. So I will use someone experienced to use now. To her rather. This person is a very close friend of mine. So he's much older than me, but he's a very close friend of mine. He broke up with his wife because his wife cheated on him and a daughter for another man. But you know, to when this man break up with his wife, the children's life is just something else, like one story after the other. Those students are not concentrating on their education and all that. So what I'm trying to get at now is just send your husband out. Find a way to forgive her. So I know it's not easy, but try to forgive this man. Don't allow the child to stay with you people. Because I know if the child is with you people, just let her believe that, okay, my husband has a child with another woman outside. And sit on her marriage. She should not leave the man. Because if she leaves the man and continue saying it, she's one that she's really wants to lose later. That's my advice to her.
Thank you very much, Blessing. Thank you for calling. So Blessing says, Tinu, don't leave your husband, because if you leave, you're the one who's going to lose at the end of the day. She's saying this because she believes that if you leave your husband is going to bring in this person that he's been with for 7 years into your home completely, and then that person takes over your home, takes over your marriage, and that's the end. That's the end of that marriage for you. But here's my, and she's also saying that the adopted child can, I believe she's implying that she can go stay with the mother, and Tinu doesn't have to live in the same house, or the adopted child doesn't have to live in the same house with them. But she forgets that this adopted child has known Tinu as mother. This adopted child calls Tinu mommy. So Tinu has grown to love this child. How easy is it for you to, how would it be for Tinu to just completely get rid of the baby? It's a whole different cycle. Yes, it's something worth thinking about, but it's a whole different cycle. This is somebody you've grown with, somebody you've grown to love, and then it's even confusing even for the child. So the child is looking like, okay, so wait, you're not mommy? So this auntie now is mommy. And these are the kind of things that mess with the mind of the child. So, but if I'm getting Blessing correctly, she's saying, don't leave the marriage. Find a way to forgive him. I'm wondering how, though? How? Because if you're seeing him every day, particularly if you leave and he brings in that woman, then that basically says that he's not even sorry for all the infidelities of 7 years. He's not sorry. If he brings in that same woman, not even a different one now, the same number one, if he brings in that woman, then automatically he's not sorry about the entire thing. And then I think that's red flag enough for the entire marriage. Hello, good evening.
Hello, this is Tonya. I'm calling back from Scotland.
All right, Tonya, very quickly, please.
What I'm saying is that you just give her some time. I didn't advise her to leave the home because of her children. And nothing that she don't give herself with time. She gets to recover from the pain and the heartbroken. So, if the husband already, but it's one thing for her to tell the husband to take the child out of the home. It's the other thing for the husband to accept taking the child to the mother. You get me right?
Of course.
Hello, can you hear me?
Of course.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Mother. You get me right?
Of course.
Hello, can you hear me?
Of course.
Hello?
I can hear you.
If the husband is willing to change, because if she remains there and you don't try for her to gather herself, she'll see this more thing that will make her, that will take her also. So for my own advice, first to just go away with the children for now and let everything come. And above all, we only talk at Sunday and let God lead her. Let her pray and commit everything. There's no storm that God cannot come. And let God lead her.
Okay, so yes, I can hear you. But anyway, thank you very much for calling, Tonya. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so there is no single person that is talking about the man's point of view. Everybody's saying, oh, Tinu should find it in her heart to forgive the man. She should find it in her heart to forgive the man. This is a man that has steadily been cheating on you for 7 years. Now, if infidelity is your thing, or if it's relatable by you, or if it's something you can condone, something you can forgive, then that is perfectly fine. Because yes, we're all humans. These things happen. But for 7 years, with the same person, this person now has a child for you. You bring in the child to your house. Not only do you bring in the child to your house, you fake adoption. You fake an entire adoption. the agency, the papers, everything. This woman signed everything that was fake that she brought before her. And she took this child into her home as her own child. And you know that this child is actually not her child. And then in this entire situation where this man should take some kind of responsibility, why are we scared that if Tinu walks away, it will be a loss for her? She can walk away with her children. She's a medical doctor. That automatically means she can actually cater for herself and her children. But why? I'm not saying that she should do that, or cater for herself and her children. But why painted as a loss if she leaves this man who would most likely bring another woman into her house at the end of the day? Why is it a loss? Hello, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name, please?
My name is Young. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Hello, Young. Thank you very much for calling. Hope you had a good day.
Are you too?
I'm all right. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
Thanks. Okay. Go ahead from beginning.
Okay.
Based on your analysis after Blessing's call, I understand that this man adopted his own biological.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With another woman, with a different woman.
Yes, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, this adoption, if I may ask, please, did they go through the process? And the woman signed, the wife, the legitimate wife signed now as the mother.
Yes. Hello? Yes, the answer to that is yes.
I'm trying to know if this mother now, the legitimate wife of this man, signed to have adopted this child.
She did. She did, and I know that because I'm sure some other people are listening. They're wondering, so how do you know that? So this story was sent. It was way longer than this. The story was way longer than this. From conversation and all of that. So that's how I know. Yes, her husband talked to her about this baby that they should adopt. They have just like they have lots of money. Why not adopt another child? And she trusted him with the entire process. He came with the papers. All she had to do was sign it and be there to receive the baby who the husband went to bring. So that's how that played out.
There is nothing. I've heard a lot of people saying one thing or the other. Legally,
mm-hmm.
Because this man said the whole thing. If this lady should take up the matter, you will be in hot soup.
Mm.
This is child trafficking in the first place.
Okay. Does it matter that the child is his biological child? Does it still count as child trafficking?
Because he faked the adoption because of those forged papers.
Okay.
Making the wife to believe that the whole thing were illegal.
Mm-hmm.
That is forgery.
Okay.
That is forgery. And if the woman should take it up, the man will be messed up. He will regret his life. I'm sorry to say that.
No, that's okay.
In this situation, now you, the woman, have accepted the child.
Mm-hmm.
And have accepted the child, and the child has always seen you as the mother.
Mm-hmm.
In this issue now, it's always devastating. It's always devastating on both the woman and the child.
Definitely.
I don't know how old the child is now.
Definitely.
This kind of news could be very, very devastating. You will not know what to do. You don't know how to do. You will see the child, and you both of you be looking at each other as masquerade. Sometimes. In this issue, what I advise you should do is to calm yourself down. This is your advice. Choose the one to take by herself. That's very important. Then, one of the advices I'm giving her is, like I said, calm yourself down. Bring the child closer back to you. She is your child. Talk to the child that whatever that has happened is not your making, and neither is it hard. That you remain the mother, that you remain her mother, speak love into her life again. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And she begins to begin to put the memories of how you brought her up, how you both of you have played together, how both of you have enjoyed life together as mother and child. Let her begin to see this thing, let those things begin to recall in her life again. You understand me now?
Mm-hmm.
So after this thing, she will not take the deal that whatever comes our way, you remain my child. I'm not going to disown you, no matter the storm.
Okay. So if I'm getting you correctly, Young, let me interject for 1 second. You're saying that the daughter is actually 4 years old. This daughter we're talking about, she's 4. And are you saying that she doesn't know about all of this because this is pretty recent? The finding out and all of that is pretty recent. So the youngest daughter, the 4-year-old, doesn't. In fact, none of the children know about any of this. So are you saying that she should talk to the young girl, reassure her that I'm still your mother no matter what?
Since the child is faithful.
Yes.
Things that I'm saying may look like a drama to her. She may not understand fully what is going on.
Okay.
Okay. Now, because of her age, what the woman will do is to remain the mother she has always been to the child without wavering, without any iota of doubt, without giving that child a room to think, is this my mother? Do you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Continue to show her the love you've been showing her from the one you brought her into your home. Continue to take her, continue to do everything, treat her the usual way, correct her where the way is necessary, scold her where necessary.
I understand you, Young. I understand everything you're saying.
Yeah.
So what about the husband? What about the husband now?
What about you?
The husband.
My sister, this is a delicate issue.
Yes, that's why you say she should calm down, which is good advice.
That's why I think she should calm down. Because it's a delicate issue. Like what I said earlier, if she decides to take it off, the husband will get hurt too. But that is not what I'm going to advise her to do. So what I'm advising her is calm yourself down and make a decision that you, the woman, will not regret at last.
Okay.
That's another thing.
All right. Thank you very much.
Decision you, in particular, will not regret at last. That's what I have for her.
All right. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for calling. Bye. So Young is basically saying that first off, the fact that there were papers involved, papers that were supposed to pass off as legal adoption papers, because these papers were forged, that this is forgery and this will count as child trafficking if the law is actually to get into this. Will count as child trafficking regardless of the fact that the child is actually the man's biological child. So that is one thing that we all should know. Even if the child is his biological child, because they forged the papers, because he forged the papers and he made his wife believe that she was adopting a child, then that counts as number 1, forgery, number 2, child trafficking. He's also saying that he's not advising that she go down that route, that report to the authorities or anything. That's not his advice. He's majorly saying that 2 things: that she should calm down, strategize, think about what she wants to do, then stand by that decision. As long as she knows that this is not a decision she's going to regret at the end of the day. Also, he's saying, as concerning the young girl, the young adopted child, he's saying that the mother should not, that Tinu should not react in any negative way. She should focus on the child. She should reiterate the fact that she's actually that child's mother to the child. She should not act any differently. She should still stay as a mother to that child. Now, believe me, that's not very easy to do, but to a large extent, that is something a woman can do. I don't know about a man, but that is something that a woman can do. Some men can, but most women would actually do this because there's a child involved, and her rationale will tell her, oh, this child actually has nothing to do with the entire situation. But now here's my slight challenge. Now that it has been found out that the daughter, the 4-year-old, is actually not the biological child of this woman, yes, of Tinu in question, the side chick, that's the mistress, would have been okay with that young girl in that family because she's with their father. she's with the father, she's with the guy he has been sleeping with. But if Tinu decides to walk away from the marriage and take her children, would it include that daughter? Would it include that daughter? Will the mistress be okay with trusting her daughter in Tinu's hands in the absence of the father? That's my only slight reservation. Call me back if you can. Call me back if you can. This is 7 minutes past 7 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. Tonight we're profiling Tinu's story. If you want us to profile your story as well, we can totally do that. We welcome stories for profiling. All you have to do is send in your story to 0703 175 6537. We take stories via text and WhatsApp messaging. 0703 175 6537. Also make sure that you send in your name and contact telephone number when you send in your story, please, so that we can reach out to you, ask for further information as we go on in the program. So if you want your story to profile, that is what to do. Tonight, Tinu is telling us that she's 41. She's a medical doctor. Her husband's 41. He's a successful businessman. Happily for 12 years with 3 children, 2 biological children from Tinu and 1 from emails, only to read through and find out that her husband has actually been in a relationship with somebody that she knows as his childhood friend and a close friend of the family for 7 years. So he's been with this person, he's been in a relationship with this person for 7 years. And the twist here is that their adopted child is actually this other woman's biological child. This other woman's biological child for her husband. So Tinu is saying, I can't believe this is happening. We've been living a lie and I don't know what to do. I can't stay in a marriage without trust. Her husband has been begging her, but she's saying she can't stay in a marriage without trust. So she needs advice. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send your text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Dickie Ben. Oh no, this is happening again. Mr. Darlington, this is okay at this point. Mr. Darlington, you need to come up with something that distinguishes you. You can't just all right. Mr. Darlington, well, yes. Is that way? See, Mr. Darlington, don't worry. I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to fall for this trap anymore. Today is the last day. Today is the last day. Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington. You will not change it. I knew you were going to say that. Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington. I'm good. Thank you for calling.
This is child fraud. This is child abuse. This is deceit. In fact, this is misrepresentation. And it is actionable. Except the doctor wants to sleep on her right. If she doesn't take up this matter, the man will do it all over again. That is the truth. There is nothing to forgive here. Nobody is going to kill the man, but she must take responsibility for his actions. Look, that little girl will go up to hear this story, and it will affect her emotionally. There is no way she will not come to realize this story. She will go up. What happens then? She will not hate everybody. That's the truth. There is no way that girl will not know what happened to her. It is impossible to hide it from her. She will definitely grow up, and the whole story will be told to her. If not from inside, but from outside. By the way, the mistress outside, you think she wants to stay outside. It's a matter of time she will come inside though.
Okay.
She will come inside. So that is the more reason why the doctor wife should take action. That's the truth. That marriage has to be defined. Because if she let this one go, eventually that woman might take him again, and the discussion of bringing her into the family will come up. At that point, what will she do? So let this doctor wife take up the matter. It's important because that family can never trust each other again. There is no way. Seriously. All the issues involved should be trashed out. If she doesn't do it now, definitely they will face it tomorrow. They will face it tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. So why not do it now? At least it will make this man to be cautious of his action. Then letting it go like that, then tomorrow he will do the worst one. It's not fair now. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Okay, so what are you saying specifically that she should do? Because you've mentioned take action, you've mentioned actionable.
Yes, so what if she can report this matter now? When I say take action, I didn't say you go and fight the man.
So if she reports the matter, she's reporting her husband that he deceived her adoption papers for a child that is not hers.
Of course.
Okay, so
then the people, the collaborators will be brought in. In fact, this matter should be escalated. Do you know how many people that have done this to? Do you know?
Okay,
if you escalate this matter now, the people that helped him to do those papers, they will be called in. Somebody did that thing for him now, and that person must have been doing it for other people. It cannot be the only person.
Anyway,
that is the reason why. Yes,
Mr. Darlington, I hear you. But I think that's a long way through.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Hold on. You see, one of the reasons why our laws turn against us is because we don't test it in court. Everything, don't leave him for God.
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, in as much as that can be done, that is a long plan. That is something that you can decide that, okay, I'm talking about what is she to do with her family right now? It's her family that is most important to her. So what is she to do with the family?
Look, whatever you are going to do now, you cannot rule out legal action or police investigation. What will she be doing this from outside the family? Why she's there now, they can try this thing out. And if she find a way, she can opt out of the marriage. Because already there is fraud here. There is child fraud here. That's the truth. So if she cannot take that route, I don't even see anything wrong in here. Because the evidence are carrying you the same. The evidence are there. If the woman cannot cope, she can take care of her 2 daughters or 2 children. Because when the man is ready for marriage, then they will not define him. Let the man marry the mistress. That's the truth. But if you don't wake up to your right, then you have lost your right. If you are sleeping on your right, don't blame anybody. That's the truth. If the woman were to do this, the man accepts it. So,
Mr. Darlington, I can't answer that.
If we are to do this, will the man accept it? I ask her to leave the house.
Most likely, I think so.
So, I don't see what is the long distance here. Those papers, somebody for they should call them, let them come and explain why they did it.
Mr. Darlington, they most likely did that because the man wanted the woman to adopt the child. The man wanted the child to live with him. It's as simple as that. So, regardless of what the why is, she's basically just concerned about the future of her family. So if they take this legal action and then the husband goes to jail, all of that, then I was talking about the fact that will the other lady now come and say, oh, I want to take my child back? Or what's the future for this family? That's what is most important right now.
If you want a happy family tomorrow, prepare for it now. I have told you, if this is not trashed out now, that girl will grow up either with her mother or with this other mother. That's the truth. And when that happens, what will that happen? That is what I'm saying.
All right.
Why not do it now? Because these children are still young. They may not even understand what is going on. By the time you trash it out, you can now start a new course for the family. Let us know what is what and who is where.
All right.
But covering it under the carpet and saying that I will leave it. You will leave it for what? When they grow up,
All right.
when they grow up, will you cover it too?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Darlington. Thank you for calling.
That woman takes action. The man will do it again.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Darlington is saying that she needs to take legal action against her husband because of the fact that she was deceived into signing legal papers from her husband, from an adoption agency that did not exist, and all the deceit and corruption and basic forgery and fraud, basically, that went into that. So he's saying that that was a terrible idea and they should have to pay for that. He's also saying, as regards to the future of the family, they have to take a decision on what it is that they want to do, backed up by these legal steps, and eventually they chart a new course for the family. This is a message coming in from Pastor Wilson. Pastor Wilson says, the prayer. I'm not sure if that's a question or if that's him saying she should for the marriage. Pastor Wilson, kindly clarify. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for calling. Can you turn down the volume of your radio, please?
Okay, I've done that. My name is Victor. I'm calling from Keja.
Hello, Victor. Thank you for calling.
Yes, I've heard everybody's take. And first of all, let me correct what most people are saying. They're still calling that a home and they're still calling that a marriage, which is wrong. And still now, that is a sham. It's not none of my marriage after what the man has done. Secondly, she should not act on her emotion right now because it's going to be the next she should get a very good legal team, the best she can find, and go after everything. First of all, the annulment of the marriage. She mentioned he's a businessman, so she can claim she helped build his business, liquidate everything. She's getting half of that business. Secondly, she's going after marriage settlement, that's divorce settlement, which if the lawyers are good, she can run into 10, 15, 20 million. Thirdly, she's going after child settlement, that's child support.
Okay.
She can do a one-off, pay the child school fees up to university level, you know, in a bank account or in a trust fund for the children, for the two children. Finally, she can go for legal forgery of documents because the man involved her. So there's about 4 counts now. Her lawyer can, you know, argue and she will win. She just has to start her life all over again. That is not a marriage. And when people show you their self, don't question it, just accept who they are. Because here we are dragging one mistress of 7 years. Who are we to know that there's no third child anywhere, or a fourth child, or a third mistress? You can never tell. And you know, somebody commented and said she's going to lose. Lose what? In a marriage that he will go with the mistress and then now cheat on that same mistress again. That is not losing. Now that the man has shown her who he is, when the children are still their memory, their core memory has not yet been formed, she can still move on. She should get the best legal team she can and go after the man. Everything that man has, everything that man has built, she should go after everything. That man has claimed a lot from her. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you for calling. I don't think I could have said that better, and I don't think I can still say that better. He basically put in all types of legal action that she can take against her husband. And this is not a form of revenge. So let's be clear that this is not a form of revenge. This is just justice. This is justice for all the time that they spent thinking that she was in a marriage and not being in one because her husband was not in that marriage with her. This is for the time that he cheated on her and possibly cheated on her with more than one person. This is for the emotional distress that comes along with taking care of a child that's not your own and potentially still going on to take care of that child as yours. Because if she decides tomorrow that she still wants to carry on taking that child with the permission or with the consent of the actual mother, then that means she goes on taking care of this child as hers, regardless, just so that they don't ruin the life of the child. or whatever the reason is. So there are too many situations involved in this one entire situation. And this just tells you that for every action, there's a consequence. 22 minutes past 7 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is still Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. If you're just tuning in, you are welcome. And tonight we're talking about Tinu's story. Tinu is telling us that she's 41. She's a medical doctor. Her husband is 41 as well. He's a successful businessman. They've been married for 12 years and they have 3 children. Apparently, according to Tinu, she stumbled upon her husband's emails to a woman she believed to be his childhood friend and a woman who has become their family, to the fact that her husband has actually been in a relationship with this woman in question for the past 7 years. Bear in mind, they've been married for 12 years. So they've been dating longer than Tilly has actually been married to her husband. And then Tilly says, since that's not enough, she's actually found out that this adopted daughter is actually the biological daughter of this mistress, this side chick, this other woman. He's begging her to stay, but she's saying that she doesn't think she can stay with the moment, being completely out, and she doesn't know what to do. So what is the advice to Tinu? This person, Tinu will eventually make her own decision, just like everybody always does when we profile the stories. Eventually they make their own decisions. But what is the course? What is the best course of action according to you for Tinu? Number to call is 07000 917 917. Send in your text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, calling back. I called earlier. I just want to say two things head in the brain. You mentioned about the penalty that she should not leave her marriage. Okay. We've heard that several times, and I think we should have to
Okay, 1 second, please. 1 second. There's a lot of background noise where you are, and I'm having difficulty actually hearing what you're saying. It's a little bit better. Please go ahead.
Okay. What I'm saying is, I heard some people saying, no, she didn't leave her home, or her husband actually because of the children, so that they don't suffer one of them, this and that. I think I've heard that so much times when you say mothers in certain cases because of their children. That is not fair, and that's not the right way to go. And I would say one thing for sure is, I can say for sure that the man should, because it's just, the trust and love are two separate things. It's not together, yes. When you can have love and trust together, but at some point, you can have a broken trust. But that doesn't mean there's no love. That's what the people need to understand. And I'm pretty sure this man did whatever he has done, because as in this country, for the adoption of the child, just because he wants a better life for the child. So I'm very sure if today the woman decides to leave their marriage, the children they are still going to have a good life. And I'm very sure the man will make sure of that. Because if you can do that to a child that was born out of wedlock, you will definitely do that to him. And I'm very sure those children, they are his children. So you will make sure they take care of them. So that is not even a point of argument where people should say, the reason for us to still. So that's one thing. Love and trust are two different things. I think another thing people need to understand is if you've not experienced something, you will not understand. When you say forgive, yes, it's one thing to forgive. You can forgive and still love someone. But when you remember what the person has done in doing, it's so instantly then it puts you in a different situation that certainly you're supposed to do to them or for them when you were in good state and completely 100% trust with them, you just end up not being able to do it at that point because of the state of mind you are. And because you remember how far this person, you go with this person, then you end up breaking your trust. So I think that is one of the things she needs to sit down and understand. And again, we individual will react to things differently. So for one person, you can do one thing or the other, and they look at you, they forgive you, and they move on from it. You don't get let it go. But there are other people like, oh, when you do certain things to them, they want to pay back before they finally get to that's another set of people. But so she as an individual, she needs to understand what person is. That okay, if she says she forgive this, can she go on knowing fully whether any time, any day she can wake up and still remember all of this? So that's another thing. Another thing is the child. I cannot believe that even a man would do that. This one has loved this child as her own child. That maybe one thing or the other is going to arise because of what happened. The woman will not look at whatever has happened between herself and the husband and use that to react or to treat the child. She won't do that. I'm very sure of that.
Okay, I need to stop here. And this is not because you're not making some valid points. It's because you keep repeating, I am very sure. In which you're not, because you're not either Tinu or her husband. So I can understand that this is your opinion, and I would prefer that it stays as your opinion. So please don't say you're very sure, because you don't know what's going to happen eventually. So please go ahead.
Yeah, I understand what you said now. Okay, but let me, in my own opinion, the woman would not react to the child because based on whatever has happened between herself and the husband. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm with the opinion that she will take to the child very well, like her own child, and not treat her separately from whatever it is as in the way she's been treated as in from the past. Mm-hmm. That's what I just believe. So people should not have that opinion that okay, we should not put to her that oh, she can put the child away, let the child go and meet her own mother. But I think what is needed to be done is the child needs to know the truth, because eventually at the long run she will get to understand, and if it's too late for her to understand that, it really breaks her heart, which would be a tragedy.
So when should they tell the child the truth?
I think for me, I would say when you know that the child is grown up enough to understand everything that transpired. Because if the child is 4 now, telling the child now that, oh, this one, your mother is not your mother, or this auntie, the family friend we used to know is your mother, she may not really have the full picture of what is going on. For me, I would say maybe at the age of 10, 12, the child is growing enough to understand, or even 8, the child is growing enough to have understanding of what is happening. She will just know this is your real mother, this is your biological mother. Because if the adoption papers are legally valid, like they are legit, they are not forged documents.
The adoption papers are forged because there was no adoption.
Since the papers are forgery, so she needs to know that, oh, this is your biological mother. She's just like, oh, so certain things happen, your father had you out of wedlock, then he brought you in using this method. So she needs to understand that before she's fully grown. Because it's going to be a tragedy if she gets to know at the.
If she was comfortable with leaving her child in that family, any woman would only do that because you know that the man you are sleeping with is the actual father of the child. So she would be okay with leaving the child in that family because she knows that she lives with her father. But if they separate, if Tinu and her husband separate, is she going to take the adopted child along with her own, knowing that the other woman knows that she's no longer with the husband?
Now, if she's going to separate from her husband, the point of going with the child now is not going to be between herself, the husband, and the real mother. Because the mother, also, if she wants the best for the child for now, I think it would be good for her to let her just deal with her. Because she's known her as a mother, she has gone with the other kids. So it would be okay for her to still continue going with them until she's able to understand and make her own decision. But I can say, okay, now that I've known, okay, this is what happened, I can decide to stay with my mother, or I still continue to stay with this person. But yeah, she still needs to be, she still needs her own opinion. This is her own opinion or her own input.
You've given a lot of scenarios. You've contacted, or you've also pointed out some things that you feel people should know. But what is your advice for Tinu specifically?
Yeah, my advice for Tinu is, like I said, one, she needs to analyze the whole situation. Like, this is somebody you've spent 12 years of your life with. How much do you still love this person amidst all of this? Truly, like I said, love, trust is different. So you need to understand that, yes, I still love this person, but can I go on with this without this trust? Or is it something that, okay, I can just wake up and I still do the same trust with her, with him? But if that is not there, she should just make up her mind. Take her time. Maybe take some time off from the family, from anything, from the man. Maybe with the kids, just go somewhere different. Spend some time having a separate herself from the husband for a while. From that cool off from everything, then she'll be able to make a decision like, okay, I can't do this anymore with you. Then she go a separate way. When she thinks she can still go on without, like, making that this man has done this, I can find a way to still trust him completely. Then it's fine for her to continue. When she thinks she cannot continue without the trust, like I said, if there's no trust, there's no peace. Because there will be a day the man is just out, when he goes for a trip.
Concerning this, the bottom line, according to him, is if she thinks she can find this in her heart to forgive him, then she might as well go ahead with that. But she needs to take some time away from the family, either with or without the children, to decide what it is that she wants to do, because this decision will most likely be a long-term decision. So she should decide what it is that she wants to do, and then go ahead and do it. As regards the daughter, she's saying it's better off for them not to tell her at the moment now what the issue is between the family. She should just continue growing up looking at Tinu as mother. Then when she's older, probably between the age of 8 and 10 or 12, then she can be told and then decide who she actually wants to live with. This, again, won't be easy. It won't be easy. In fact, none of this is easy. It's one thing to know that somebody has slighted you. It's also another thing to know that they want you back. They want forgiveness, and they need that forgiveness because they realize how much they have broken your heart. There's not one single person that has talked about the responsibility that Tinu's husband needs to take on this matter. Tinu's husband is the one who cheated on her for 7 years with somebody else, well, one person that we know of, and had a child outside of wedlock, forged adoption papers and brought her into this woman's life as her own child. This is the person to blame for any of this. This is the person to pay for something. This is the person who has to suffer for something, and not Tinu. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the marriage cannot still make, both of them have to work hand in hand. But if Tinu can find it in herself to forgive, then why not? This is Adults Conversations on your Women Radio WFM 91.7.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
My name is Segun, and I'm the village man. All of you now we like to blame us village people because on our business you know they do well. Say we not think say we won't get our own issue. I beg you, we village people don't get your time off. You set yourself first.
Village people are the reason your business isn't growing. Introducing Money Point, a business bank that helps you realize your business dreams with easy access to quick loans, ease of payment collections, and general business management tools. www.moneypoint.com and let's help you power your business dreams. Money Point, powering dreams.
ẹ kú dédé ìwòyí ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi nínú olúwa èmi ni olùṣọ́ àgùntàn Débọ̀ Adégòkè mo ní ìròyìn ayọ̀ fún nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ ètò bá ń ṣe ìpàdé àdúrà ní Yorùbá láti ìjọ Mozambique Christian Ministries International Freedom Arena ní ìlú London yóò máa wáyé bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ Sátidé aago 2 àárọ̀ lórí Women Radio lórúkọ Jésù ìwọlẹ̀ nìkan Jésù lòdùwà.
Lunch vibes. Every music note counts, aligning with lyrics and rhythm. Words soothing to the ears, voices and melodies with the best vibes ever. That is Lunch Vibes on Women Radio WFM 91.7.
know you're calling no lights. You know I'm just that guy. No, them no big deal, my vibe. Whatever you call it, be it apropos, cable, gist, or gossip, let's believe we've got you covered 100%. Join the NY and Flow every Friday at 7:15 p.m. for the best of entertainment news only on Blog Food.
21 minutes to 8 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. This is Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and we discuss matters related to the heart. My name is Somto Titilayo Ajama, and if you're just tuning in, you are welcome. We're profiling Tinu's story tonight, and this is a story that you have to contribute on. Tinu is basically saying that she's been in a very deceitful marriage for the past 12 years, and now she's just finding out, and this is a difficult place for her to be in right now. She's finding out that her husband of 12 years has actually been in a relationship with somebody she has known as a friend of the family and as his childhood friend for 7 years. So she's known this person as his childhood friend, and this person has become a close friend of the family, but her husband has actually been secretly in a relationship with this woman for 7 years. Like, that's not enough. Tinu actually found out that her husband actually had a baby with this woman who he forged adoption papers and made her and convinced her to adopt. Let me put it that way. Basically, Tinu has adopted this child, and this child is 4 years old, and this child is their only adopted child. So they have 3 children, 2 biological and 1 adopted child. So the situation is dire. Tinu is saying she can't stay in a marriage without trust, but her husband is begging her, and she doesn't know what to do. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. Send your text and WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. All right, call back if you can. What is your point of view on this? What is your point of view on this? What is your advice to Tinu? This is a message coming in from Oluwamayo Gwatebayo from Ago Palace Way, Okota, Lagos. He says, it is so difficult to forgive, but she should forgive the husband and ask further questions if the child is not from him. She should own the child as a revenge and be the mother for life. Tinu is the mother and no other. Easier said than done. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Tonto.
Grandma, how are you today?
I don't know how to answer.
Grandma, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm so sorry. It might be a product of the weather. Maybe the way the weather has been acting up recently.
Just been accident. It me with a bone in my bone.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Please visit a hospital so you can get proper care.
Thank you. Hey, well done this matter tonight. Every something I need to break my body day. Baba Daniel, thank you. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? I I salute everyone. So how are you?
Fine. Thank you. I'm well.
Lady, we never talk. We never community.
She never talk yet. She never call.
See, I look at it. I ask myself 2 questions. If the woman go legal, the man will go to jail. She don't want her man to go to jail. Because of the children. Ex-convict. This one, no. It's one Yoruba. The man has done badly. We know. That is why it's good to be faithful. To be faithful. Let people be saying the truth. Anybody has come out to say, I'm a child outside, so this is what happened, though. You know, the matter will be like this. But because of shame, he now told lies. But it's not correct to say the truth now. And put this poor child in one kind of situation. Well, I've been thinking, maybe they will do it what Yoruba will call a gulu.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking, yes, a gulu. It's what it's a want for the house that is within the family.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking of the legal aspect. The man fought, he fought the paper. The jail time will be long. Hey. And say Tinu wants her husband, the father of her children, to go to the ex-convict. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I said they should make a matter in the household. Settle the thing. And then let the girl, the daughter, go. That small girl, go back to her mother. And leave to know of anybody. Seeing the girl will continue making her unhappy. And then, she's a doctor at 41. She has her own mind. We are just talking, giving advice. The families who come into this matter, our own mother, our own family, the man's family, and then they should trash it out. The girls should go back to the mother. The mother is still alive. So how can the mother self allow such a thing? If you are a real mother, how can you? And that's what it is, so that the man will take care of the girl and then bear the name and then be part of the inheritance or what? I know that other woman, no get consent. He's not a mother. Not a mother at all. I can't give my child for that kind of messy, dirty, whatever arrangement. It's a dirty, messy arrangement. Very wicked arrangement for that girl. What? Let that girl go back to the mother. Let them do family, whatever. Because this man will go to jail also. So, for Atitinu to stop the man from going to jail, we should, if like the other, somebody said, if he can forgive, but to live with that kind of man is dangerous. So they can go there separately, ask for divorce, but the girl should go back to the mother.
Thank you very much, Grandma.
You will be my body. Thank you,
Grandma. Please take care of your health. Thank you very much for calling. Okay. Yes, I had to do that. This story tonight has elicited a lot of emotions, and a lot of people are, bringing out all these different concepts, all these different points of view, different perspectives, really. And you can see that people internalize issues differently. So, Grandma is saying, if you take him to jail, if you take legal action against him and he goes to jail, will you be okay with the father of your children?